Hello, my fellow data visionaries. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The iVision. My name is Itisha, and I'm here to turn complex data into clear insights. Whether you are a student, a professional, or just curious about data, this is your space to learn, grow, and get inspired. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. So let's dive in and explore the world of data together. Today we are going to unlock a very important concept, which is Star Schema, and we would be implementing it in PowerBI. So let's light it up. So starting off, we would be using and we would be understanding Star Schema in PowerBI. So this is the project flow. We will discuss our data set, which is fitness orders. Then we would discuss about measures and dimensions, overview of Star Schema, and implement it on Power BI. So let's discuss the data set, which is fitness orders. So this is how our data set looks like. It has got number of rows as 5000, number of columns as 16, and I have shared the link to the data set in the description below. So I've got you covered, guys. This is the column description. You could see that we have order ID, product ID, category ID, subcategory ID, store ID, city ID, and country ID as the primary keys, and then we have other things like product name, category name, store name, etc. Measures and dimensions. So the very first thing which you need to keep in mind while dealing with data is that you need to divide it into measures and dimensions. So the first question which you need to ask yourself is data type is equal to number? If it is not, then it is a sure short dimension. And if it is a number, then you need to ask yourself another question. Is it worth aggregating? If the answer is no, then it is a dimension, and if the answer is yes, then it is a measure. For example, we have product ID, category IDs. These could be numerical, but you cannot aggregate them. I mean, it would not make any sense aggregating them, right? Adding them or finding an average of the product ID, it doesn't make any sense. So that is dimension. On the other hand, if we have sales volume, financial profits, these all are measures because it is worth aggregating. We would like to know at the end of the year how much profit the company is making. So that is measure. Here I have given a clear-cut distinction between a measure and a dimension. So a measure is a quantitative data and a dimension is a qualitative data. So dimension answers the questions like what, when, and why, and measure answer the questions like how much and how many. So dimension could be name, dates, or geographical data, and measure could be numeric quantitative values. Based on our discussion before, this is what we have. This is how we would be dividing our data set into dimension and measures, and we can see that the price is the only measure we have in our data set. Rest all would be dimensions. Now, overview of Star Schema. Let's discuss what Star Schema is. So the name of the Star Schema has come from its very shape and the fact that we have a fact table in between and dimension tables all around the points. We have discussed about the dimensions just a couple of minutes back, and then we have the fact table, which contains all the measures, and it has got all the primary keys to the respective dimension tables. To have a better understanding, I have listed the differentiation between fact table and a dimension table. So a fact would store measurable quantitative data, and a dimension would store descriptive contextual information. Fact would have numeric keys, numeric and keys, and dimension would have textual and keys. And fact table, like I mentioned before as well, it would contain foreign keys to the dimension tables and the measures, and dimension table would have all the primary keys and the descriptive attributes. When we talk about usage, a fact table is used for calculations and aggregations, and we need dimensions for filtering, grouping, and slicing data. if we talk about updations, fact table are the ones who are frequently updated, but dimension table on the other hand would be less frequently updated. For example, a product name would not be updated frequently, right? It would stay as it is. But on the other hand, a fact table contains the transactional data. So the transactional data can be updated frequently, probably every second. Then the example of fact table could be fact sales, fact orders, or fact revenues, and dimension table could have dim product, dim customer, dim date, and dim store. The reason why we have fact and dim just before the column name, it's just to differentiate between a fact and a dimension table. You might want to use it or you might not prefer using it. So the choice is up to you. Having all this discussion, let's now implement everything what we have discussed on Power BI. But before that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment too. Power BI. So I have opened up the Power BI and I'm gonna click on a blank report. So the very first step which we have is to load the data. So I'm going to click on get data, and my file is a CSV file, so I'm clicking on CSV, and then I'm choosing fitness orders and I'm clicking on open, and the link to the data set I have added in the description box, so go check it out. So this is how the data would look like, and I need to transform the data, so I'm clicking on transform data. So this is a Power Query editor, and you could see that we have the entire data set being loaded, and on the left hand side we have the table name. So the first things first, now you could see that the column name are column 1, column 2, column 3, but I want that the first row should be the column header. So I'm going to click here, which is use first row as headers. And now you could see that the order ID, date, these are all the column names now. Let's check the data types now. So column ID, order ID, I'm okay. It is alphanumeric, so textual data. Date, I would like to change it. So I'm going to click on ABC and I would say that the data type is date. Okay, looks good. Product ID, ABC, correct. Product name is fine. Now let's say price. So the price is a decimal, so I'm just clicking on the column name and clicking on decimal number because I want to change the data type. Then currency, it's fine. Category, fine. Category name, subcategory. And if you see, all other are fine, so we have changed the data types as well. Okay, great. Now let me just duplicate this table a couple of times so that we can make our dimension tables and as well as the fact table. I'm just duplicating it. Okay, so let's go to first one. Let's say I want to have my dim products. So I'm just double clicking on the name of the table. I'm saying dim products. So I choose the columns. You can just have your control key pressed, and then with the help of mouse you can select multiple columns. So product ID, product name, currency. I would like to keep these three things in my dimension products, and now I have selected the columns. So I'm going to click right click and say remove other columns. Okay, great. Now since it is a dimension table, I would not want any duplicates, so I'm just right clicking on product ID. I would say remove duplicates. Great. Now next thing, I'm going to next table, and let's say I want to make it as a dimension dimension category. So I'm just saying dim category. Okay. Now let's say I would choose category ID and category name, and that's it. Okay, so I'm just saying right clicking on them. I would say remove other columns. I don't need duplicates, so I'm right clicking on it and I say remove duplicates. Alright. Now let's say I want to make a table or a dimension for subcategory. So I'm saying dim subcategory. and I will choose the subcategory. So I will say subcategory ID, subcategory name. Right click on them and say remove other columns. A subcategory to remove duplicates, right click on it and say remove duplicates. So yeah, done. Now let's say the next dimension which I want is dimension store. Yeah, so here I would just want a store ID and a store name, that's it. So I'm gonna right click, remove other columns, right click and remove duplicates. Okay, so let's say now next I have dim city. So I'm just gonna choose all of it, like city ID, city name, country ID and country name. So right click on it, say remove other columns, right click on city ID, you say remove duplicates. Okay, now let's make our fact orders table. Okay, so I have order ID, date, so I'm just selecting the columns which I need. So and I need order ID, I would need date, primary keys to the all the dimension tables. So I would choose product ID, then I would need a category ID, then a subcategory ID, then a store ID, and then a city ID. And one thing more, I would need a measure which is my price. So I'm just clicking on price as well. Now I would right click on my selection and I would say remove all other columns. Great. So I would not remove the duplicates because it is my fact table and it is a transactional data. So I would like to keep all the details. So I think we are done. I would click on the top left corner of close and apply and wait for Power BI to do its magic. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Meanwhile, the link to the dataset has been given in the description box, and I've also added a link to the presentation we just discussed. So yes, so on the right side you could see on the data pane that the data has been loaded. I have dim category, dim city, product, fact orders, everything is there. Alright, so now this is the report view. So I would now go to on the left panel, I would go to model view, and you could see that Power BI has already detected some relationships. So I'm gonna delete them. Just select them and click on delete so that we can discuss. Okay, so I'm simply putting it in the shape of a star because we are discussing a star schema, and that's it. Okay, now the only step which we are left with is matching the IDs or the foreign keys in the fact orders with the primary keys of the dim dimension tables, right? So let's say I have starting with the dim subcategory, I have subcategory ID. So I'm just gonna hover over it, click on it and drag it to the fact orders and subcategory ID. So now you could see that another window would appear, and I will have a subcategory ID and the subcategory ID from both the tables already being selected. So here the cardinality is one to many, cross filtration, direction is single, and make this relationship active. What these are we would be discussing in our future videos, but for the time being I'm just clicking on save. Okay, now you could see that there is one to many relationship from dim subcategory to fact orders. So similarly we would be putting we'll go to dim products, then we would click on the primary key which is product ID, keep clicking on it and just drag it to the product ID of fact orders. A similar window would appear. The product ID of both the tables have been selected automatically. The cardinality is one to many. Cross filtration direction is single. Make this relationship active, and we have save. Alright, great. Now let's talk about dim category. Click on the primary key which of the dim category, which is category ID. Keep clicking on it and then drag it to the category ID of fact orders. window. Everything is already selected. Just click on save. So now let's go to dim store. Simply store ID, drag it to fact order store ID, window appears, click on save. And then dim city, we have city ID, click on city ID, click on save. So this is what we call as a star schema, and we are done with it. It's easy, you can just drag all the tables here and there, but still the relationship would exist unless you delete it or edit it. But yes, the aim of this video has been achieved. We are able to create a star schema out of our existing data set. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm sure you must have liked it. So please make sure that you are liking it, commenting, sharing and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, my visionaries. All the best.